Well, you catch me in a Genesis, and this is a weird one. I'm actually driving, and you're like, wait a minute, this is not your usual video. Oh, off-road. No, it's not my usual video, and that's because, doing things a little differently today. So, this happens to be the GV80 Coupe, which means in the back there, you can see it's a tapered back end. It's more like a sporty version, sportback version. It's basically an SUV without all the room. It's or maybe you'd consider it like a lifted four-door coupe. Hold on, we're gonna navigate through these puddles, and then I'm gonna park for a second. Oh, and there's a wild dog. Hello, wild dog. Let me go to my usual stop right here. Okay, so first thing I'll tell you about the GV80 is, yeah, it's pretty nice. Yes, it's Korean. Yes, it's a Genesis, so it's a Hyundai Kia product, but none of the parts from a Hyundai or a Kia. And it's not as luxuriously crazy, weirdly, as the Hyundai Palisade, which is more like a Rolls-Royce inside. This is trying to be like a Bentley, I think. We have our power shade, of course. Like, I've done this car before. I did not like the GV80 regular size one, but I do like this coupe. It just feels right. Let me put it in park. One thing I do notice, though, is like these buttons are kind of all over the place. You're controlling the screen from here. You've got the touch screen there, and then you've got your auto stop start here, although your gear selection's over here. Cameras here, although your buttons are over here for the screen. It's just kind of like, I'm everywhere and I forget where everything is. And then it's like, oh, the volume. And because I'm here all the time, I'm like, where's the volume? And it's actually over here, right? And that's not the volume for the passenger. That's nothing. You'll never use that button or that knob. But what you will use are the good looks, because it does have good looks. And you'll see the carbon fiber look with the red stitching. And then we have our massive Genesis grille. And yeah, it's trying to look like a Bentley. It's not bad at all until you roll up next to a Bentley and then you're like, oh, whoops. It's really windy, but not. Like, interesting. And this is the whole piece of it right here. This is probably the most unique SUV coupe I've ever seen. I like it. The last one I drove was more like a matte gray. This is like this baby blue. Depends on what you're into, I guess. We got our power trunk, obviously. Quad tailpipes. Man, it's windy. You've seen all this before. I guess the real question here is, how much is it? And is it worth it? Well, I'm assuming because it doesn't have the matte paint, is that this thing's going to be like not $88,000, but I haven't even seen it. So let's find out. I got my info here. Is there a window sticker? No. Basically, they were never affected during any of the shutdowns or anything because they owned everything, which is the unique part. Like, they're onto something here, and I really do think, like, reliability aside, warranty's great, all this other stuff. If you just need a car to lease, this is, if it's within your budget, go do it. I don't know why you need a Mercedes. Seriously. Massage. I mean, it's got all the stuff, but no, yeah, it even has soft closed doors. Would you look at that? So what do you need? What's missing in here? You let me know. Leave a comment below. Bang & Olufsen stereo. You know, I think they just check off all the boxes. Radar cruise, lane keeping, adaptive, you know, the headlights are auto high beam. It's just like, yeah, you just get in it and you go. Now, if you like to drive, you know, this would be good for the highway if you have like places to go with obviously not carrying too much stuff in the back. However, what I'm trying to say is Now it does move, so it's great for the highway. Feels nimble. I wish it had more of a four-wheel steering, rear steering on it. I don't think it does, because it does not feel like it at all, but it feels like something's happening with the diff when I do turns. So it's definitely sporty, I'll tell you that. And what I'm trying to say is it's not off-roady, right? Because we got these big wheels. It's got this coupe design. It's not, although it does have a lot of headroom, it's just not suited. I mean, they didn't really make it for doing off-road stuff, but you could take it to your cabin in the Smoky Mountains and stuff like that. You could take it, you can go from Atlanta to Asheville, for instance, and you'd be just fine. And I have the sound, the internal cabin sound for the engine noise turned off, but you can crank that up if you want to sound sportier or whatever. And we have different drive modes here if we get into it. And yeah, there is a terrain mode for snow, mud, and sand, but it's not, there's no four-wheel low is what I'm saying. There's no like air suspension to raise it up. It's just very basic in that sense. But again, this is more like a Road Warrior style coupe SUV, which is great. I prefer this over the GV80. So this is the GV80 Coupe, and you can't go wrong with it. Now, what's out there that competes with this? Well, I think BMW's X6 is like the first iteration of something like this, but do you want a BMW X6? I mean, that thing is the ugliest thing I've ever seen, and they still can't get it right. Whereas here in the Genesis, they nailed the look. They nailed the look. It's fairly quiet inside. I'm not going to say it's super quiet. I've been in quieter cars, but I think for what Genesis is trying to pull off here, I think they did it. They did a pretty good job. And you know me, I'm hard to impress. So one thing I would change, I don't know what I would change yet. I mean, it's going to iterate over time anyway, and we'll see what they do with this one. But I think, yeah, you can't go wrong with it. Get the lease, free maintenance, long warranty, and then drive. Just drive. Thanks for watching.